Hi everyone, I'm here at my home club, the chess club Otterkring in Vienna, and today I'm playing a simul against 21 opponents, and I did some filming, and hopefully you're gonna enjoy some of the bits of today's simul. I'm here at the chess club Otterkring, my own personal chess club. I've been playing for over 10 years now, even more than that. And I played against 21 different players, and now I'm sitting with the only player that managed to make a draw against me. And we're going to have a look at the game together.
Yeah.
So I had the white pieces. I went for knight f3. Actually, I played my own Reti course.
Yeah, we already played a simul once, and we had a very similar game, so I played d5.
I went for g3.
Knight f6.
Knight f6, bishop g2, e6.
Yeah.
That was still it there. Castle.
Short castles, bishop e7.
c4, and you started with c5 immediately,
yeah? I wasn't sure. I thought maybe I could castle as well, but...
Usually it's transposing, I think, yeah? Like after short castle, I would have probably gone for b3, and then you could also go c5.
c5, yeah.
And this will transpose back to the game, yeah? This is what we got, d4.
Yeah, and then our... And knight c6.
Knight c6, bishop... Yeah, bishop b2, but it probably doesn't matter, yeah? I think
but we got it through a different
You're right,
order.
yeah, you're right. You're actually right, yeah. Knight c3, yeah.
And then here b3.
Exactly,
and
yeah.
in our first game, I think you played bishop g5.
You even remember that.
Yeah.
And now knight e4. So that was still part of your preparation?
Yeah.
It is the best move, yeah. Bishop b2.
Bishop b2, bishop f6.
Yes, and now knight a4. Here there's this nice trick. Probably you're aware of it, b5. Do you know why it's not working here?
I know it's not working, but I'm not sure why. What's the trick?
Because if it would be working, then it would be
I
nice.
think some rook c1 or queen c2, some pin in the c-pawn at some point.
How would you start?
Maybe knight takes c5.
Yeah, and after knight c5,
rook c1.
Rook c1, yeah. And now you're winning back the pawn, yeah. That's the trick in the line, yeah. So you went b6, yeah. This is the main line.
b6, yeah. And you still played rook c1.
Rook c1, yeah. Was it bishop a6 here?
No, I think I played rook e8.
Rook e8 first. And now you mentioned that dc5 is not the...
I'm not sure. I think e3 is the main move. There
e3,
was some game Kasparov with black against Larsen, which I think was this line.
I guess black can still continue with bishop a6, yeah?
Yeah, bishop a6.
Rook e1 and maybe something like rook c8. Looks logical.
Yeah.
I still vaguely remember that this d takes c5 is what I recommended in my own course, in the chess-based course for the Reti. But...
Yeah, with the bishop still on c8.
Yes, you're right, yeah. So you took, yeah?
And okay, after bc I get the hanging pawns.
Yes, and it was difficult. Maybe I should start with knight a4 first. Maybe that was what I wanted.
Yeah.
You could still go bishop a6 though.
And then e2 is hanging, yeah.
That's nice. Let's show it. I cannot take on c5 because at the end of the line there's bishop takes e2, which hits the queen and the rook, yeah. So maybe it doesn't matter after all, yeah. Oops. So if you anyway can go for bishop a6, yeah. I guess we have to. So this, and now I went knight to d2, yeah?
Yeah, which I think is still good.
Probably, yeah. I still think that I recommended knight a4, and I think after bishop a6, rook e1.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken. And at some point, black, I think this was it. Black had to go c4 at some point. Because how else would you protect the pawn? Maybe queen d6 is possible as well.
Yeah. But it somehow looks a bit loose.
Yeah. Also after queen d6, then I could go knight d2, yeah?
Yeah.
And probably I get a better
better
version,
version.
yeah? Compared to the game.
Yeah.
So I think that this is what I looked at, and some knight d2 you have to take, and then you're stuck with this isolated queen's pawn. But in a simul, I couldn't, I couldn't recall it. So what was it? Bishop
Knight d2.
knight d2, and you went bishop a6.
I think I started with queen f6. Right? Yeah, knight d2, queen f6.
Queen f6 first. Yes. And I took on e4. Maybe that was, well, what else? If I start with knight a4, does it make any difference? I assume you would anyway go bishop a6, yeah? But then I can take no, maybe I can't. Maybe I can. Now I can take on c5, right? No, then again you will take on...
Bishop takes
But
e2.
it does go on, maybe. Take, bishop e2, queen c2. And then you have knight d4. I would have to go here. And you cannot take on f1 because of rook c6, I think, yeah?
Oh, okay.
But you can
Nice line.
maybe play something.
Knight
This is
b4 with this.
This is probably just winning for black, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that is not working for white, yeah? Okay, so what happened in the game? Knight is on e4. This was the position, yeah? And I took on e4 first. D takes e4, and I went knight a4. Maybe knight c4 is safer, but because then at least you don't have the diagonal for the bishop.
Yeah. But okay, maybe I get like knight e4 at some point.
Yeah, and I cannot really get e3, yeah? Because after e3 you always have knight f3. Yeah, I think you're too active, just it's difficult for me. Yeah, so knight a4 is the concrete approach. Knight from b2 to a4.
I played bishop a6.
Bishop a6, yeah, that was strong. And I took knight c5 because I didn't see anything else. Maybe I can start with rook e1 instead. But
Rook e1, here I also thought I might play knight d4.
and then after knight c5?
Although yeah, maybe I should start with rook d8 like in the game.
And if queen c2, knight
No,
d4.
knight d4 comes with tempo.
Yeah, it could even be very good for black, yeah? Because queen c2, knight d4. And it just looks like black is so active. At least this is not working yet because my queen is protected. But I have a feeling that black should be fine. Maybe some e3 at some point even.
Yeah, or maybe this setting up the trick.
Ah, that's nice also, yeah. Even though I could maybe have e3. But then knight f3 anyway, yeah. Yeah. Yes, you're right, yeah. It's also a good move. Okay. So,
so knight takes on c5 and
yes, rook d8. I have to go queen c2. Is the rook?
The rook was here and you played queen e1.
Ah, right, yeah, right. And now you went
Knight d4
knight
anyway.
d4, yeah. I think I have to take, yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
Queen a6.
6, queen takes.
And I went king h1. Didn't see anything else. I guess I can move my rook as well. Maybe rook c4 is possible.
I thought rook c4, maybe rook d1.
Ah, rook d1 also. But still, I guess after every move you can take on a2.
Yeah, probably. Okay, maybe it's good to have the king already on h1.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Although in the game it would have been better on the rook.
That's true, yeah.
Okay, queen takes a2. Yeah.
And now
rook a1.
rook a1, yeah. At least now e2 is not hanging with a check, yeah. This was one idea of king h1.
And now I wasn't sure which pawn to take.
You can probably also take on e2. I don't think it should be. It's probably anyway very drawish. You took on b3, yeah.
And then
Okay,
you took on
7.
and I went queen c2.
Mm-hmm.
I also thought about queen b6, but I think it's pretty drawish anyway.
Yeah. Sure. I mean, if one side is better, it's probably you already, because I'm so passive. I was even thinking if you could go e3 at some point, but for now I can maybe take.
Yeah, and the open f file is...
Yeah, I might be able to take on f7 next, yeah.
And e3 like kind of just helps you activate your pieces. Maybe I even get the 2 pawns, but
that's true,
then your
yeah.
pieces all come alive.
That's true. I mean, queen c2 looked very natural, what you played.
You played e3, knight f3?
Yes. Okay, if I take on f3, then my king is always weak.
Yeah, and some queen f5, queen h3 ideas
Yeah,
are in the air.
Yeah. So I went here, yeah?
I think queen c1.
Went to c1, yeah?
Yeah.
And you traded.
Yeah, I also thought about rook d2, but I don't think it really matters all that much.
It could be similar, yeah? You can maybe also keep the queens on the board somehow differently, but maybe queen e2.
Queen e2, but maybe some queen a1 with rook a2 back ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Or queen a2, which also threatens
Yeah,
c7.
yeah. Yeah, you're right, yeah. Okay, so you took
Takes
and rook d2. Did you
Yeah.
see this move, or?
I saw it after I played rook d2, which is...
But still,
maybe
you're
rook
fine,
a8,
yeah? Yeah. And my king is weak, so taking does not work because of this, followed by checkmate on the 8th rank. So you played rook d8, yeah? And now I took on e4. Did not really see anything else. Otherwise, rook d1 is just coming.
Yeah, no, I think you have to go for the
Yeah.
line that happened in the game.
So rook d1. Now it looks like I'm getting checkmated, but after takes, I still have this.
Bishop f1.
And now f5 was strong. I missed that move.
Yeah. I also thought I could maybe take on f1 first and then play f5, but it should transpose, I think.
Yes, you're right. Yeah. Because I only looked at some moves like g6, for example, and then I think I will get 4 versus 3. Because I can go king g2. Okay. You have rook takes f1, but I can take on f3.
And also you have check.
Even better. Yeah, even better. Rook f1 I cannot take because of the fork. But instead I can give a check and then take on f1, yeah. You're completely right. No, f5 was good. I missed that move.
And here I thought I was winning, but I don't think I can really improve on what happened in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So rook f4 and knight d2.
Yes. Knight d2. And I played king g2, yeah?
Yes.
And you took with the knight on f1, yeah?
Yeah, I thought of the...
Yeah, now I thought rook f1 is maybe better. Instead of knight takes f1. Because now if rook d4, we get something similar to the game. You have to go for this. But you have the extra f1 now.
Yeah.
And I thought I would probably take here. But then you don't have this passive knight, so you can do something like this. It's probably also a draw. But I have to suffer a bit, yeah?
And especially with you going around every board, it's very difficult
in
practice.
Yeah. I had a similar endgame with the extra knight, just like this, yeah? I also had it now in the Simul. And it was not so easy to win, but okay, with this it's probably a draw, but yeah, I have to defend, yeah? Okay, so what happened in the game? You took...
with the knight.
Yeah, you took with the knight, and now after this, you went back knight d2?
No, I went rook a1.
Rook a1 first, yeah, exactly. Yeah. And now the knight on f1 is trapped.
It's an f1 trapped.
But I cannot get to it, so that's why I would guess it's a draw, yeah? You went king f7, check, here. Did I go g4?
Yeah, not g4.
And rook e1?
Rook e1, yeah. Because here I thought, I mean, the knight is permanently stuck.
Yeah. You can also wait around with h6 or something, but
yeah,
this is the clearest way to a draw. And okay, I guess I could do this,
Yeah.
to protect the pawn, but
Like, not that I was like very afraid, but I thought, okay, here I have to like play on. But
yeah, but I don't think I can make
do
any
anything.
improvements.
Probably I can just play king f7, king f6. And
Exactly, yeah. So after h4, knight takes e3, we settled on a draw, because this is just not much is going on, yeah. So thank you for the game.
Yeah, thank you for the sign.